No, we are live right now. We are live. Yeah, we're live right now as we speak. But yeah, bro. Yeah, it's getting cold, especially in Texas. Man, is I think it was like
Cold
it
in
was.
Texas? Really?
Yeah, man. It was. Hold on. Right now, like, cause remember, my garage got no ventilation, so I'm freezing right now. Look, so it's so right now it's 42 and it's windy and it's rainy.
Oh man.
42, man. Look, what's up, Raul? It's from South Florida. Look, he's nice right now. He's nice. You know,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
ain't, he ain't freezing.
Must be nice, man. Must be nice. I love it, man. Look,
There
I
you go.
lived in South Georgia, down in Kings Bay. My dad was in the military
Hmm.
in St. Mary. So yeah, I love the warm weather. I love it.
I agree. And there's Jim Lacey. Jim has some badass cheesecakes. He has
Oh,
a little. He got a little store. We got to go when we go.
where is it? Where's my guy?
I think it's in Franklin. I
Man,
might be.
hey, my guy, send me the link. Me and my wife and my girls, man, we will come over this weekend.
There you go.
Mine, you guys can find me at the Twitter. You guys look on my Twitter. It's at forever USM24. Please send
Oh,
me.
he's in Clarksville. My bad. I'm sorry, Jim. Clarksville.
Hey, Clarksville ain't no problem either, man. I got some buddies. They coach at Austin P and stuff like that. So, you know.
I'll definitely I'll get him I'll give him your link and stuff so he can, and then you guys can message and stuff. But definitely he's a good guy, man, and he has some bomb ass. I mean, I see the pictures and stuff. I'm like, man, that looks good.
Oh, man. I love it.
What's up? What's up, Ross? How's everything, man? I know it was a tough game. We'll get into it in a little bit. We'll get into it. It's called B cheesecake. That's what it's called. So it's legit, bro. It's legit. Again, I'm freezing, bro. I'm freezing. It's gonna be cold when I go over there too.
Yeah. You want to get your hand warm.
That's the thing, bro. I usually just go like in mid-October, so it's nice. You know, it's not that cold. It's crispy.
Yeah,
I know. I've never been over.
With Nashville, those that live here, you never know what you're gonna get. We might mess around and get an 80-degree day. The week after that, we get rain and snow, and it's just crazy. Man. It's crazy.
What's up, Stephanie? Yeah, we cold. We cold, Stephanie. We cold.
Love it, man. I love it.
What's up, Jay? What's up, man? It's a long time no see. But again, let's just start it off, man. It's gonna be I mean, it was a tough one to swallow, but as we see on the screen, post game, the Steelers ended up beating the Titans 27-24 after a no-show for the Titans in the first half. I mean,
what was the score that I gave you? You got that still written down from last week?
I do. Wait, hold on. I have a bunch of like damn post-it notes, but I think you put something like that, didn't you?
I want to see what you had written down for what I said because I knew it was gonna be a tough game.
I think. Hold on. You look how many damn little post-it notes I got and shit. Hold on.
You gotta do it now, but even later on post, if you tweet something now, I just want to see what I had said.
Definitely.
Because
I know I got it somewhere, but again, I can't find it right now, but because I got it everywhere. But I'll find it because I know I wrote it down because I definitely wanted to.
I'm gonna have to relook at the post. I'm gonna rewatch the post and see.
I'll watch it before this end. Texas weather as well. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
trade Corey Davis and a second round for Gil.
No. You kidding me? Jay, no. If anything, you re-sign Corey Davis. Because,
there we go.
I mean, I love Marcus Mariota, but I love him. But the chemistry that he is showing with Tannehill, he shows you that first round draft pick was worth it.
Yep.
I mean, you look at his consecutive catches. I mean, he's coming. I can't. does he? I want to say he has a touchdown catch every game.
I think he has. Well, I mean, because he was out the following game, but yeah.
He's played, the consecutive catches that he has. A lot of people don't want to talk about this, but even when Marcus was the quarterback, Corey Davis probably was one of the better blocking wide receivers in the NFL, which a lot of wide receivers are not known for that. But when you got a running back like Derrick Henry and the Titans offense, you got a guy like that that's willing to do that dirty work downfield, like he's a valuable resource in this offense. You don't take him away, because if you take that body away, now you're going to get double teams on AJ Brown. So you look at what the Pittsburgh Steelers did. I know I'm just jumping into that. I'm just really
hey man, this is all you, bro. This is all you.
What Jake say, but man, when you look at what the Pittsburgh Steelers came in with yesterday, and the talk around town was Claypool this, Claypool that.
And look what happened. He didn't get a
Claypool. We saw Johnson, and you saw, you still got Washington, you still got Juju. It creates matchup problems down the road, and I don't care what nobody says. Pittsburgh, they just play old school football, man. They play old school football. You keep the ball away, you play good defense, and you control the clock. And I think that's what they wanted to do. I don't care what you guys say. If you're like me and you were watching that game yesterday and you saw when we got that interception, it was no doubt in my mind we was going to have an opportunity to win the game. Like, no doubt in my mind. And teams know that.
I felt good, man. I felt really good. I felt, man, that's the thing that it sucks to kind of feel, man. I felt I'm like, once we passed the 50-yard line, we still got a minute. I'm like, we got this game. This is and AJ Brown made that play. I'm like, we got this. And
then another thing for you, Jay, you don't want to trade Corey for Stephon, because now you're trading young for old. So you don't know how many more years you're gonna get out of Stephon. Get more, regardless, he's a top cornerback. And another thing with that, like when you got a top cornerback like that, well, I just heard stories from when I was in the league about when Deion Sanders was playing in the league. He didn't get a lot of targets, but the corners around him got exposed because you got that guy on the field. So you want to kind of be well balanced. You're playing with two guys, and Titan fans, like I told you this last week, and I'm going to continue to tell you guys this: enjoy the process. Stay in the moment. Enjoy every win that you get, because it's hard to win the National Football League. You're playing with two rookies at cornerback, and we were sitting at 5-0. We're still an opportunity to be 6-0. You can't teach experience. The experience that these guys are going to get, the coaching that they're going to get from Coach Bravel and the rest of that defensive staff, man, the ceiling for these guys are super high. It's super high. And you guys don't understand how much that experience will come in later on in the season, the postseason, when those guys have to step in when needed. So, to be where we're at right now, like, you don't make any roster moves. Well, I just don't think you make any roster moves.
Okay, we jumping all over the place, but that's good though. But okay, you don't want to make. What's up, King Isaac? What's happening, brother? I'm just gonna shout out everyone here. What's up, Zach? How's everything, brother?
What's up, my man?
There you go. Look, he wants. Someone said get that kicker out of.
No, you better not. You better not. He won us some games. You don't get him out. Look at his record, man. Like, you don't. And a lot of people, man. Look, I've been a special team coordinator, and one of the things, and then I was a special team player when I came to the league. One of the things, and we had Rob Baronis, for all you guys that know Rob Baronis. The number one thing that you talk about that Jeff Fisher was always concerned about with playing in Nashville, in our city, and especially in our stadium, is the wind. The wind is so inconsistent. You got to know how the wind is and how that can play a part in the kicks, especially with the stadium being on that on the river and stuff like that. So, you kick the ball, they're kicking the ball in the net. Okay, cool. You're kicking the ball, maybe 3 or 4 feet in the air. Nobody knows where that ball is going to go, when it gets up in the air. And so the opportunity came late for him to adjust. So you don't you don't do that. That's a Hall of Fame. That's a first ballot Hall of Famer that is on the team, and he's shown us why already. Because without him, this game wouldn't be a 5-0 versus a 5-0. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. You can put it on him, but at the same time, if you're gonna put it on him to win the game at the end, you got to put it on the whole team for the way we started at the beginning of the game. So,
Definitely.
we don't get rid of guys, and now I really want to integrate that into this Titan fan base, because when you see a Pittsburgh organization, a New England organization, a Baltimore organization, those guys stick behind their players. Those fan bases, they stick behind those players, regardless if it's a good game or a bad game. You're behind them 110%. And I think that Amy Wells and Coach Vrabel and the rest of that staff, from the GM on the way down, they're trying to change the mindset of this organization, and that also comes with the fan base as well. We gotta uplift this team regardless of the downs and ups. Because they need our support. I guarantee you, he didn't go out there saying I'm going to miss this kick on purpose. These
definitely
professionals, I know what it takes on the day-to-day basis to come out and win. So what they've already done, guys, they just need our support. And when they see the fan base supports them, I guarantee you, man, those guys go out during the week and they give even more, because I tell you, I guarantee you guys, he feels it not for just the team, but he feels it for the whole community, for the fan base, this Titan, the organization, for the state of Tennessee. He's carrying all that weight on his shoulders. And he doesn't need anybody else to be a critic of him, especially when I'm talking about Hall of Fame kicker. He needs our support, and let him know, like, hey, man, we got you. We appreciate what you do. You're our guy, and that's how it's got to be. If we're going to be farewell of fans, and every time somebody makes a mistake or lose a game, and we're quick to ship them off, then why would you want to come out and play hard for them every single? You know what I mean? So you guys take that in consideration, with this loss, because it's not on him. It's the team. It's the team game. It's the team effort. It's the team loss.
Yeah, man. That was one thing that I was kind of upset especially when Twitter can be really, really. I mean, a lot of people kind of lash out, especially on Twitter. But I just saw so many people. It was towards the end of the second quarter, and people are already giving up, saying they're going to change the channel, this and that. And I was like, come on, like, you still got another half. And yeah, it was. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't the prettiest half. It was very ugly, obviously, but you're still going to support the team. If I was at the game, my ass would have never left. I would have been there to the fourth quarter. I saw Andrew Luck destroy us my first Titans game. And guess what? I stayed there to the very end, because guess what? I paid for it. And guess what? We don't need that type of fan base, man. We don't need those type of people that are just going to kind of up and quit. But then when the team's doing good again, I see them Twitter. I mean, they start tweeting like, oh, yeah. Like, no, where were you in the second quarter, man? You're complaining the whole time, right? Like, no, don't do that. Come on now.
This team like your own kid.
Exactly.
Never was playing.
Exactly.
Ross not, man. You support them. And that's what it means to be a fan. Man.
All right. Let me Zach says wise words, of course. I think it was a good game. We had a chance. He missed it. Yeah, I mean, it was a good game. We didn't bend. They showed resilience, and that's something that, I said before the game ended. I'm like, win or lose, man, these people, they didn't give up. They didn't just let them, the Steelers just walk over them. Once a Titan, always a Titan. And we'll talk about that. Dallas putting him on. I think Stephanie said she didn't.
That's what
There we go. Twitter is the echo chamber for some. Yeah, it's pretty bad. So let's I'm gonna go over right now the stats of the game. Again, Ryan Tannehill, 18 for 30, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 20 carries, 75 yards, 1 touchdown. A.J. Brown, man. A.J. Brown is Again, he's something special. He had 6 receptions for 153 yards, 1 TD. Big Ben, on the other hand, this is where he came.
Real quick before you go on to Big Ben.
What's up?
The stats of AJ Brown.
Yes, sir. 6 receptions, 153 yards.
Not 100, not 98. You said 150.
Oh, I said that?
How many touchdowns?
1. That's nasty.
I'm just. Yeah. We're gonna get into that. I just want you to repeat that again for
6 receptions, 153 yards. Damn. Okay. Sorry, you got me hyped up again.
We're gonna talk about. We got some stuff to talk about.
Definitely. Big Ben was 32 for 49, 268 yards, 2 TDs, 3 interceptions. James Conner had 20 carries, 82 yards. Juju had 9 receptions, 85 yards. Now, here is where it breaks everything down. This is the stats. For first downs, Titans had 15, Steelers had 23. These are the things I written down that I felt like they were most important for the game. Third down efficiency. They were 13 for 18. We were 5 for 13. Total plays, they had 74. We had 56. Penalties, there were 8 for 69 yards. We had 7 for 73. Possession, they had over 36 minutes, which I think is like the whole first half. And then our possession was 23 minutes. So again, those are the stats. And the one that kind of jumps out on me is the third down efficiency, man. The third down efficiency. I know everyone's talking about it. Let's just jump right into it, Gerald. What do you think about that, man?
I mean, first of all, like if you got for the older fans, not the newer, and I'm an 80s baby. I'm an 86 baby. So I'm kind of borderline old. I'm old school. I'm borderline of old school when old school was old school, and then when new school is getting integrated as far as the mindset on both offense and defense and how you want to play the game overall. Mike Tomlin's a great coach. He's been around for a long time. Jeff Fisher, he reminds me of Jeff Fisher, a guy that is situation aware, that is aware of the opportunity, not the opportunity, and not only just the opportunities, but the opportunity at the moment and what the game presented and where both teams were. I thought Mike Tomlin really understood what the Titans were doing, the success that the Titans that we were having. And I thought the game plan was immaculate because that was old school football where you hold the ball. You keep the ball away from the offense, and you just know we're going to bank on the defense. We want to go down, score touchdowns if we can, kick a field goal if we can, but we want to eat the clock. We want to keep our defense off the field as long as possible. And that was one of the fastest first halves that I've probably seen in a long time in the NFL. When you looked at it going into the early second quarter, they darn near had the ball for like 15 minutes plus, might even 16 minutes plus. And the Titans, I want to say, maybe had 2 opportunities. So when you look at the game plan and what they tried to do in keeping the ball away from, Tannehill and Derrick Henry, you got to give credit. You got to tip your hats to them. Then we didn't we didn't start off the way we wanted to, but at the end of the day, they were 5-0 for a reason. We were 5-0 for a reason. And so, you got, you take this with a grain of salt. I told a friend of mine, in some way this could be a blessing in disguise because you get a L, you get the loss out the way. So that stress and that burden that you carry of trying to remain undefeated.
Yep, that was another.
It's kind of uplifted off of you. Do you want to win? Yeah, you want to win. But, sometimes like the ball doesn't bounce in the way you want it sometimes. Mm-hmm. And so Um, yeah. So guys, just understand that the time to me, the biggest key of it was the time of possession in the first half that limited the Titans offense um, for opportunities to do what they've shown well. And when we talked about this earlier in our last meeting, coming into the season, the Titans offense was supposed to be the best thing that the Titans had going because you don't replace a lot of people. Everybody's coming back except for Conklin. Um, he wasn't coming back, but you got everybody, all the pieces in Arthur Smith's offense. So we expected the Titans offense to be dominant. And I think they've shown that all year long. So then
My bad, my light went out. But
yeah, and then guys also understand, man, like Dean Pease is not here.
Yep.
So if you guys look around the NFL, man, everybody's struggling. Everybody's struggling on defense. Everybody's struggling on defense because you don't get the OTAs, you don't get the preseason games. So that mind that Dean Pease has, guys, I want you guys to understand that was special. That was special in this place. Do we have talented and special guys on defense? You're darn right. But Dean Pease, he had time to get that stuff put together to where with the COVID situation, the lack, like I told you guys, man, the lack of practices, all of that, like the defense is going to struggle. The offense might not have struggled as much, but the defense definitely, I could definitely see struggling with the facility not being open. And then the last thing, just to let you guys know, as a former player, they just played 3 games in 13 days. I mean, we can say we want. We can always say we want everybody to be 100% when we're out there. I played the game for a long time. You play 3 games in 13 days. Your body is not where you need to be, especially when you're going with guys that are getting the ample amount of rest. To 27-24 with the first half that we had.
Yep.
Are you guys kidding me? You guys not understand the ceiling, how high the ceiling is versus what was supposed to be a stout Pittsburgh team.
Mm-hmm. I think we got a lot of recognition regardless, just because, like I said, we didn't just fold over and stuff. And I think a lot of people are taking notice of the Titans, which is nice. Finally we get some recognition because usually people just kind of, it's the Titans, this and that, but not this year. This 2020 Titans team is definitely different.
Right, and my boy Clark that was on ESPN.
Oh, Ryan Clark.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We saw Derrick Henry. We saw Derrick Henry on the goal line. We saw.
I think he dislocated that guy's shoulder.
Saw a linebacker field and gave everything he had. And last time I checked, Derrick Henry was still on the field, and that guy was not. I don't think he returned. So, guys, I'm just, man, this team's special, man. This team's special. It's special. It is special. Got some stuff to get fixed, but I still think I stand firm behind that. This team is a special team.
All right. So, like we said, there's a couple things that need to be fixed. Now, I know it's a team effort, and you don't want to point fingers at anyone, of course, but who is to blame for the loss? Is it the pass rush, secondary coaching? What is it that was happening in the first half that you saw that needed adjustments?
Everything across the board. Everything plays together. It ties in together. Everybody wants to say, oh, we want to get a good pass rush. Okay, yeah, you want to get a good pass rush. Okay, cool. Well, you get the pass rush. Well, then the coverage behind has to match up. And in watching the game plan, this Ben Roethlisberger is not the same Ben that he was when I was playing. Like Ben was chunking that thing down the field, left and right. You had guys like Mike Wallace, you got AB. He's always taking those chunk yardage plays. This game, it was like, okay, we're going to get 5. We're going to get 6. It's going to be a 10-yard, and he's getting the ball out of his hands quick. You can't get pass rush is not going to get there. So if you're selling out on pass rush, then in behind they're making dinks and dunks. Now you got a spot tackle, and everybody across the league right now has been struggling with tackling. So, you got to get a feel for one. You got to get a feel for the game, which I feel like they came out. They started quick. They started hot, moved the ball around, and then you see the guys getting adjusted. The biggest thing is just conversion, man. It's just conversion. It's just and the conversions on third down comes from consistency. You don't blame one person. Everybody has to be consistent. It might be one guy. It might be one guy on this third down that his coverage wasn't tight enough, or it might be another guy that missed the tackle that would have ended up in a fourth down and short, or it might be coverage as a whole, or linebackers, eye discipline or anything like that. Like the group as a whole has to play together. And like I told you guys in the last podcast that we had, that comes from practice. It comes from practice and reps and consistency and communication, because we do have new guys. We do have new guys on the field. We have new guys in the secondary. You got 2 rookies that are starting that did not have OTAs or off season or rookie mini camp. These guys are coming in hot. So you got to understand that, okay, you're putting a lot on. You got a 7th-round draft pick. What round was my guy Chris Jackson?
I think he was 6 or 7, one of the two. But
you got 6, 7th-round draft pick. He getting starting time off the get go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure in the league right now across the board, you got some guys, cornerbacks that might have been drafted, 4th round down, that still haven't even got defensive snaps. They might have gotten special team snaps. This guy's getting defensive snaps. Chris Fulton, he missed a lot of camp and stuff like that. So, I don't blame coaches. I don't blame coaches, because at the end of the day, players play, coaches coach. Mm-hmm. You're talking about the NFL. You're talking about professionals, guys that have to do it in between the downs. So, especially with Mike Bravel's background, I don't question his lack of coaching. It's not a whole lot that teams are doing that he is not seen or has been a part of himself. So the fact that these guys might not being coached up right, I throw that out the window. Like this isn't that type of team. Coach Bravel is not running that type of staff. I know he's requiring nothing but excellence from everybody, from the offensive side, from the defensive side. Even when we've been winning, you've been hearing Coach Bravel say, we got to get better. There's things that we can do good. You haven't heard a whole lot of high praises from Coach Bravel, because he understands the expectation week to week, that you can't be complacent. So I don't put that on him. Pass rush, you got Clowney came week of the first game. Beasley didn't even show up for the first few days or so, and then when he showed up, he was not
in shape.
In shape. So, and then you got Amalek Herrera that you end up losing. That I'm pretty sure that the Titans
would have liked to have him.
They definitely would like to have. I understand his frustration and stuff like that. I definitely don't doubt his commitment, his love for the game. We definitely would love to have a guy like that in rotation. But it's a combination of pass rush, coverage, communication.
Okay. All right. So again, it's like you said, it's all almost one thing, because like it happened, the offense started bad too. The offense was, I think they gained 1 yard, and then they did the 3 and out, and then even the punting was bad. We weren't at special teams, so special teams, offense, defense. I mean, the whole 9 yards. Those things. Off those 3 levels, you need to be in par, and they weren't. They weren't sync at all. They were just, and it was weird though. It was almost like a domino effect, Like it was like one thing happened, defense didn't show up, and then offense didn't show up, and then special teams didn't show up, and it was just kept on going, and it was getting worse and worse. I was like, oh my Lord, I was like, what is happening here? And I think Parrish he got a point here. I think the loss will humble him. Is that facts? Does that actually kind of knock down from cloud nine? Like, hey, we're not this all great team. We need to relax. We can get beat. We just gotta keep not jump to the next person and look in front of us.
Yeah, and so you saying our third down
defense was bad in Buffalo.
Yeah, it was bad, but you had turnovers, which we had turnovers this game that we overcame. And being through 3 picks, I mean, the defense got it when it needed. But I guarantee you, third down has not been swept under the rug. That ain't been swept on the rug. Any good coach on any level understands if you don't get off the field on third down, you're not gonna win the game. Because last time I checked, if they don't score, then they can't win. Only thing they can do is tie if we don't score. So defense is an emphasis. And you guys got to understand, Vrabel's not an offensive minded coach. He's a defensive minded coach. Now, I'm a coach myself. You're going to take pride inside the ball you coach, first and foremost. And so I guarantee you, like, he's pissed off. I guarantee you guys he's pissed off. He's pissed off. And then at the same time, but the same way that I'm coming to you guys with perspective of being a player and understand how things work, I do understand that he has realistic expectations for the team in the circumstances of COVID and what everybody in the NFL has dealt with, as far as the lack of preparation, the lack of reps. We can talk about Zoom all we want. You can Zoom to your boom. You can Zoom and X and O's, and you're supposed to be there and you're supposed to be here. You got 2 guys that are coming from college and they don't get the physical reps when they can't see it and make the adjustments and see themselves on film and correct themselves. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. It makes a difference. And that goes for the same thing for Clowney, goes for Beasley, it goes across the board. Guys, you get better by practicing, by getting the reps, by messing up in practice and going and watching yourself on film, and as a staff, getting the chance to correct those mistakes. So, you don't get a lot of that when you got to play 3 games in 13 days. You physically can't do it. You physically got to let these guys get their feet back underneath them for them to come out and play a game. So
there you go, man. All right. Now, we saw, again, like I said, we saw the first half was atrocious. It was horrendous. Again, people were giving up, this and that. Now, the second half comes along, right? And this is a new team, man. It looks like this is what the team that should have came out in the first half. What adjustments were made in the second half on defense? Let's just talk about defense. Offense, we know, because the defense gave Derrick Henry a chance to actually get the ball. I mean, if that game was if they were starting to get blown out, we were going to, ditch the run and start passing. But the fact that the defense made some plays, got us in the game again, Derrick Henry was able to do his thing. So what adjustments were made?
So just for me watching it, it just seemed like the guys were more in sync and more comfortable. And so, I listened to the Mike Vrabel show with Mike Keefe, and I listened to Coach McGinnis and all of those guys in their take, and just listening to Coach Vrabel was like, there really wasn't any adjustments. The guys just tightened up, and that's one of the things, when you're on the field for so many reps, you kind of get familiar with, okay, what's going on, what's the team trying, how they're trying to attack us. And you would hope as a game, especially with the amount of reps that they had, that's exactly what you expect from our defense, for those guys to settle in and start feeling comfortable and start making plays. There were a few things that on third down when we were showing all our blitz, there was one thing that concerned me, that they kept running the slant on the backside to the one receiver when we were showing double A gap blitz. When we were man, I would have thought that on one of those third downs when we were showing all our blitz with everybody on line scrimmage, we would have dropped a guy out to stop that, because they did that multiple times.
They did.
And Ben was just hitting that slant on the inside. That inside slant is so hard to cover. It's so hard to cover, especially on a 3-step drop. Even the corner can play, he can play tight, but normally if you got a guy in the zone that can kind of drop, you make that throw harder. You make the throw harder. You make Ben have to put it in a, in a place that only receiver can get it. And then you make that window of opportunity for that receiver to catch it even tighter. So it was a few times where, I was looking like, man, I know we're showing all our blitz, but, are we going to, can we drop a guy in the middle for a hole that maybe could, knock a ball down or pick the ball, or, even if the ball was completed, let's get them on the ground. So that was the one that was probably the only thing that I saw that we could have did differently. But for the most part, it was just execution, man. It was execution. Though when you're making short throws the way Ben was throwing, you give them that, but you got to get them on the ground. So those missed tackles that we had, those were huge. Those were vital, because those were moving the chains instead of making, we were giving them extra yards after catch instead of making them earn every single yard.
Definitely. I mean, again, like I said, that second half, man, it was a brand new. And I think Parrish is right, though. That A.J. Brown TD kind of woke him up, gave him a little bit more life, man. And that's the crazy thing about football. It's all about momentum, man. It's what team starts getting that momentum. And the Titans looked like the defense started waking up, started making plays and stuff. So, again, I love one of the things I think there was like a standout in the defense was Jeffrey Simmons and Jayon Brown, man. Ooh.
Plays the butt off, man. He plays the butt off. Evans does too. A lot of guys underestimate Evans, but Evans in that run game. Like Connor was held under 100 yards. Connor had a lot. I mean, Connor helped us out. He might have been playing for the Titans last night. With them drop passes that he had, because that was uncharacteristic of him. But that run game could have got uglier if the Titans would not have bottled him up. And then the offense coming on with those touches. I mean, you look at A.J. Brown, and this is what I tell you guys. You got to give credit to Mike Tomlin. Like, Mike Tomlin understands our team and what the Titans can do. He understands that we got big play guys, and AJ is a big play guy. You got Corey Davis is a big play guy. Adam Humphries, big play guy. Adam Humphries had a great catch.
You saw that? I was like, ooh, he snatched it.
Great catch. You can start calling him Hump Day. Man, I'm so, they understood they couldn't give Tannehill and those guys the ball. You couldn't let those guys get going, because that happened. And then you guys, I know you guys felt the same way that I felt. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. You see the momentum we got? Bet. Now y'all gonna have to deal with that, and y'all gonna have to deal with Henry too.
Yeah.
So everything clicked. It just clicked a little bit too late. But again, like I say, that credit has to go to the Pittsburgh Steelers, has to go to that game plan, because coming out and holding the ball as long as they did in that first half, I mean, that right there, that was big. I mean,
that was. And it was horrible. By the way, if anyone could do me a favor and go back to our post game with the Texans, watch maybe like the last 5 minutes when we do our predictions, so we can get what was Gerald's score. I think you were right, man. I know it was like 20. I think because I remember writing 27. So just let me know. Put in the comments if you guys could do me that favor. Just just double check what was his prediction. Is towards, I think it was like 5 or 6 minutes towards the end of the video. But let's just continue, man. Again, I know you said no, but is it time to look for some trades, pass rushers, secondary? Nothing. Stick with the team. Stick with what we got.
So when you start trading, you start bringing in guys, and you got to start implementing the new deep. You got to start implementing. Okay, what is this guy? What is this guy familiar with? Then you got to deal with the COVID situation, and you know, sticking out, and how long is this guy? When is this guy even going to be available? So you start bringing guys in the new situations of that nature. And I'm saying that because of the way that this defense is operated. This defense is not, okay, we're just playing zone or we're just playing man. Because if that was the case, then yeah, you can bring anybody in. Anybody can do that. Anybody can just, okay, I can play quarters, or I can play cover 2, or I can guard this guy man to man. But the ins and outs with this team and what we do, the disguises, the looks, and bring guys and not bring guys, like it takes a savvy vet. I really don't know, what guy you're going to get out there that is going to be already better fit for what we have. And then I go back, to it and just saying, okay, we're 5-1. I mean, teams in the league are 5-1. You look at Kansas City Chiefs; they lost to the Raiders, and the Raiders got just demolished. So any given Sunday, you can win and you can lose a game. It's all about, are you comfortable winning and losing with what you have? And I would think that, with this team being as special as it is, you don't want to jeopardize that. And another thing, what type of message do you send to the locker room? What type of message do you send to the locker room? And I'm saying that because realistically, like I told you guys earlier, realistically, the guys haven't practiced. The COVID situation, they haven't practiced together. They played 3 games. They played 3 games in 13 days. And the success that they're having, I guarantee these guys are giving everything they got. It is going to take some fixing. It is going to take guys stepping up. But you're winning games without your key guy. When you beat the Buffalo Bills, like Dory didn't play. Hughes didn't play. Adam Humphries didn't play. Warren got hurt, and you got Sombrero coming in. Like you got this roster, man. Like this team understands what is at stake, and they understand the amount of discipline and intensity that is going to take for them to win week in and week out. And so, guys got to get credit. I mean, Pittsburgh, that's a good team, man. It's a good team. And you look back and you sit up and say, man, damn, if we just started half as decent as we did early on, man, it could be a whole different conversation. So, you don't want to rush to conclusion. Pass rush, I can understand you looking at trying to bring another pass rush, because pass rush, you always want to have depth as far as rotation. So pass rush, yeah, I can understand that, especially when you lost Kamala Correa. So the pass rush, I can understand that. The secondary, I don't know. I don't know if you want to dibble and dabble in the secondary. I wouldn't dibble and dabble in the secondary when, especially when Adoree Jackson has not even been in the mix. Because you get Adoree Jackson, he does not solve all your problems, but he does create mixed matches, and you also get a chance to rotate guys in and out. With Chris Jackson, Johnson Joseph, and Christian Fulton. So you get an opportunity to rotate guys in and out to keep those guys fresh and minimize snaps between those guys.
Did you hear the news that Christian Fulton's out with an apparent knee injury for a few weeks?
I didn't see that. I was watching the game and saw he got banged up, and he was kind of going in and out. So I wasn't 100% sure, like, cramping, is he like?
Yeah, they announced it today that he's going to be out for a few weeks. I think he's going to get an MRI. I don't know if it's tomorrow, but Yeah, so he's going to be out. So that's why people were kind of jumping on getting another cornerback or something like that just to help.
My question is like, who do you get?
Exactly.
And then if you get somebody, what are you willing to give up? Because you still got to look at from the standpoint. You still got to sign Johnny Smith. Jaron Brown's going to be up for contract.
Rashad Evans, yeah.
Sean Evans, Corey Davis, Dory Jackson. Like, you got guys that, you got guys going to be up for contract. So, like, how much are you willing to deal out? Are you getting a guy that's, off the street, that's a 1-year deal? Are you trying to trade? Like, when you start talking about trading, not only are you trading guys, but you're trading that cap space as well, and that contract that that player that is owed. So you got to be careful with that because I think the pieces that we have, I think we definitely can be successful. You just continue to coach them up, but you definitely don't want to tie yourself down to the future to where you're not able to continue to develop and continue to grow this team as a whole.
Well, that was the whole. That's why the whole Stephen Gilmore kind of like popped up. That was like the whole thing. You're right.
Yeah, I'm putting my charge in.
All right, but yeah, that's what the whole Stephen Gilmore talk was. Oh, we're gonna, why don't we trade for him and this and that? Don't get me wrong, but you already, you kind of harped on that already. He is in his prime, but again, gelling and all that gelling and all that stuff. I don't think. I mean, he is a good player. Don't get me wrong, but
it'll work. I mean, don't get me wrong, it'll work. My thing is, what is this contract? What is this contract gonna look like? And especially with the cap space, would that allow you to make other moves down the road? Let's say something happens to somebody else, and you have to pick up somebody. You have the opportunity to do that. So,
definitely. And it's true that we do have young CBs, but again, with time, like Stephanie got a point. Also, protocol guys have to wait a week to be signed and brought into practice with the team. That's a lot of time to incorporate someone, especially since we don't have a bye week. We're playing games constantly, man. We're just back to back. It's hard, especially get that gel in. It's true. So,
this will be the first normal week for the guys. The first normal week. The first time, okay, I'm gonna play a game. I actually have, a full Tuesday off. You come in, you're gonna have a regular Wednesday, regular, Thursday, Friday. This is the first time that you'll actually have a regular week since that Minnesota game. So, it's a lot of stuff just to take in consideration, and just understanding a lot of stuff can be done, a lot of film study, a lot of adjustments, all of that.
like crazy. So you just keep doing your thing just in case. So final thought of the game, positive and the negatives. What did you take out this positive? I think my positive out of the whole experience was that the team didn't give up. They made adjustments, which is really good. It's really important. And you saw some people shine.
I would say that for me, I'm gonna. Can you hear me? I might be frozen.
No,
Can you hear me now?
yeah, I could hear you. You're perfect. It's me. It's me, bro.
So I'm gonna go with the negative. Negatives is that we lost. The third down bug. Finally bit us in the butt.
Yep.
It finally bit us in the butt, and not getting off the field, especially on third and double digits. And so, to me, that was the biggest key. It wasn't the sack. Like, people want to say sacks and da-da-da. If you watch the game and you know what Ben Roethlisberger's been doing all year, he's not holding on to the ball as much. I mean, he might have held on to the ball maybe a few times where he completed some extended throws. But for the most part, he was getting that ball out of his hand pretty quick. And he was sitting in the pocket. He wasn't moving around. He's pretty much sitting in the pocket. So, That was a big thing. But the positives, defense made a play when you needed the most. When you needed the most, they found a way. They made a play. They got an interception. And I was sitting there right before, he took the penalty. I'm like, man, let's get an interception here. Sure enough, tip ball, pick, and I'm sitting there like, oh my God, can you score? Okay, he didn't score. Cool. We're about to march the ball down the field, and we're about to score and win this game. So, defense made the play when you had to have it the most. Mm-hmm. And then the other positives, the offense continues to show big playability. Big playability. This Titans offense, you guys know, like I know, you get down, you just feel like, oh God, you're screwed. You're down, you're screwed. We can't come from behind. Like we're only scoring maybe 14 points and 3 field goals. Like we're not coming behind. The big playability continues to show, continues to improve. You see guys stepping up on the offensive side, making big plays when they matter. Tannehill stepping up like a true leader, regardless of the situation. The situation does not seem over his head. He seemed poised. The offensive line, Sombrero felt like he came in. He did his job because we're not talking about him today because of he scored points. So guys on the offensive side understand their role. I feel like they're committed. And then if I go back to the negative, just special teams just played uncharacteristic like that. Just not that.
Yeah.
It kind of that was not something that the special teams this game played the way the special teams played when we played at Jacksonville last year.
Yeah, it was just I was like
sitting there like what's going on? What's going on here? So, but the positive, going back to the positive, those things are corrected. They're corrected. And we've seen what this team can be. We know what this coaching staff, we know what Coach Vrabel stands for. So this is not one of those things where I feel like we're the Dallas Cowboys and like,
I love it. I love it.
Are we going to fix it? Or are we just going? This is just going to continue to happen. Like this is just it is what it is. This ain't that type of team.
You don't understand, man. Going to work after a Cowboys loss, it's like the greatest. I love going to work just because they're so quiet, bro. They're not even talking. The people that usually talk at work are really quiet to themselves. And, we lost and stuff, but nothing like a Dallas loss, man. So
Dallas just lost to Washington. They only scored 3 points. I don't care who your backup was.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton in as a backup that has been to the playoffs that has more talent than he ever had. So you guys to understand, it does take chemistry. It does take the camaraderie. It does take guys gelling and working together. Mm-hmm. And this offense and this team, this is a special team, man. This is a special team because I go back. You beat a Buffalo's Bill team and you didn't have starters. You didn't have your starters. But guys that stepped in and they knew they found a way and they won the game. And we just played a real good team up and down. Not just players, but coaching staff as well. So, I tip my hats off to Pittsburgh. And then, I say this, it's hard to beat a team twice. We know that as well.
Yeah.
We played the Chiefs twice. We beat them the first time. We didn't beat them the second time. So I guarantee you, going in to play Pittsburgh Steelers in the playoffs, this team's going to feel a whole lot comfortable, and they're going to have a better expectation, a realistic expectation of what it is going to be, what it's going to take to win that game. So it's a blessing and a curse, all in one. You lost the game, you want to win, but you understood how they attacked us, how the things that we didn't, things that we need to do, and you're able to adjust and you're able to prepare for the rematch, because I guarantee you this team, if everybody stays healthy for the Pittsburgh Steelers, same as us, like you could possibly see them down the road.
Well, definitely. I definitely see that happening, which is good. I'm okay with it because, again, like you said, we'll feel a lot more confident knowing that, hey, look how close we were and stuff like that. Oh, Jim wants to know if you go to the games.
No, because I've been coaching, so I haven't been able to go to the games. So I'm watching, I'm streaming, I'm watching every snap, texting some of my buddies and stuff like that, some other Titan fans, friends that I've met since I've been here in Nashville, and we talk about the game, or I would text just other people, just thoughts on the game. So no, I haven't had a chance to go to the game, but I like watching the game from home. Now, from here, but right now, this, I told you guys, those that are going to the games, man, you guys are greatly appreciated. And I'm telling you guys, I know this for a fact. Like, you guys make a difference. So.
Well, there you go, man. We're gonna wrap this up. It's gonna be one more minute, but I just want to say, thank you so much for joining, man. It's good to hear, especially a defensive side perspective. Oh, Jim wants to give you a ticket, man. There you go.
Oh man, I appreciate that, man. I might take you up on that.
And thank you for the time out supporting the fans. Look, there you go.
Love you guys, man. It's what it's about, man. Like I told you guys at the beginning, man, like, man, you gotta continue to support this team, up, down, good, bad. Don't buy into this media, man. The media has a job. They gotta sell. They gotta sell. They gotta get clicks and likes and all that, man. Don't buy into the negative media. Don't buy into the publicity. The locker room is tainted and this and that. They're trying to find a story, man. Told you guys, this team's special, man. This team's special, and only us, as long as we know it as Titan fans, that's the only thing that matters, man. Let everybody else on the outside read the noise and read the news, but let us know, like, man, our guys, they come out every single day. They come hard. They prepare, and they leave it all on the line every single week. Because the tape shows, man. They could have laid down. I've been in games like that. I've been in NFL games like that. You get guys that, the scores like that. Some guys are like, man, I just want to make it to, you might have a guys like, man, I just want to make it to the next week. I don't want to get hurt, man. These guys are battling. They're battling in and out. They don't lay down. So
there you go, man. There you go. And make sure, guys, if you haven't, hit the like and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, I think everyone should be subscribed. But if you haven't, please do. And share this out, man. Share this out for everyone so they can all see this video. Again, thank you again, Gerald, for coming on, man. It's always a pleasure having you on. Try to make it as just 1 hour, so I don't take much of your time. But we'll definitely next game is the Bengals, and we'll see what happens with that one. All right, man.
All right, man. Love you guys, man. Tighten up.
Tighten up, brother. Have a good one, man.
You guys.